on the train, I've come to the notice of an organization called Hug the Block. Um, Hug the Block, they're like a proactive stop the violence, stop fare evasion, and drugs on the train organization. I personally, now let me just say this: I'm not going to criticize any group that's trying to make a difference when I'm not myself. I want to make a difference. I just don't feel like my time is worth that certain, you know, struggle. Like, I don't feel like it's worth fighting for people that, not all of them, but most don't genuinely care about anything. I just think that's not a. I don't want to call it a waste of time. It's just not really something I'm interested in. I'd rather give my time to people that I feel would benefit from it more. Like, yeah, it's great to see people, you know, trying to lower the murder rate here, but it's like you gotta start at home too. It was these rowdy ass kids on the trolley earlier. Me and my friend were on the trolley, and it was these rowdy ass kids on the trolley making noise and causing all kinds of ruckus. And I wasn't. I told my man, I was like, 4 or 5 years ago, I wouldn't even be in this part of Philadelphia. I probably would have got off the trolley because they probably would have intimidated me. But I had to learn going down south that, not I'm gonna call those kids gangsters, but I stopped fearing, mostly, like, I'm cautious, but I've stopped fearing the so-called YNs and the gangsters because, like I said, they don't have that level of gangster when it comes to police or the sheriff or any kind of authority figure that could dictate and fuck their lives up. Well, you don't have that kind of level of gangster towards them. I learned you fear them, so what? Why am I scared of you? I'll just call the police if I ever feel like it's a problem, because when if it's a cop, if it's one cop and it's like 20 dudes on one corner, they all disperse, they all run, which I didn't understand until I understand a little bit. I mean, I really don't, but I do understand why they run. But yeah, Hug the Block organization. Can I respectfully say that I feel like, so they've been around for 8 years. How do you say respectfully that it's not a ripoff, because it's nothing like, even if people, I feel like some people may take, like, I take a lot of shit that I hear from other people. Some people may take my words and use it as their own, which is fine, because I don't care if you do. It's all about the message, because a lot of the things I say, I hear from another person, mostly from documentaries and books. But how do you say, like, hey, that election in New York, one of the candidates, Charlie, the guy that started the Guardians Angel, his name wasn't Charlie. They started the Guardians Angel. The founder, who tried to run for mayor, his organization patrolled the trains and the subways and the streets. And this is basically what they're doing now. I feel like somebody saw, like, a clip. They saw what the Guardians Angels were doing. So, this gave them the incentive to do the same. Like, hey, how about we start protecting our community, or maybe the Black Panthers. Maybe they got inspired by the Black Panthers, but I feel like Hug the Block is like exactly what the Guardians Angels was doing in New York during the 80s when the crime was really rapid. Because you can't ignore the influence that they probably were inspired by from the Guardians Angels. Because like I said, the founder was running for mayor, and one of them probably was like, hey, we could do this here. We could try to make trains and subways a lot more safer and smoke free. Like we could sort of make the initiative to make them great again. But we also got to consider the culture is what's causing the city to be in the condition it's in. How about we also look at the culture, hold the culture accountable? But I understand too, they won't really go my route, my method of doing it, because you gotta understand when you criticize a culture, you lose your support. It's like Donald Trump criticizing MAGA supporters for being ignorant on everything, basically, not really being conservative, just being racist, just being bigots and any kind of ISTS, whatever you want to call them, racist, homophobic, xenophobic. It's like him calling out his supporters for not really being true conservatives, but just because Donald Trump isn't a conservative himself. But it's like he can't really call them out because then he'll lose his support. But just think about this, because anybody watch this video, you have to call out the culture as well. If you want to make a difference, you have to look at the catalyst that's causing the crime and the murders and people not paying fair. It's part of the culture, you know. Not paying your trolley and your bus fare is keeping it real. How about you make it where, hey, it's gangster to pay your bus fare because that shit can, it can open up more jobs. It can secure the buses and the trains from not getting suspended.